Forever family. Welcome back again to the beautiful shop. We're here again on Tuesday, like we normally are.
Again. I love that you use that word all the time.
Again. I like being again. And again and again. So, anyway, here we are again. Welcome. Thanks for showing up. We appreciate you guys. We love you. We miss you. We have another video. This one's a little bit different, so watch it and tell me what you think.
It's cool having all my friends over at my house, and sometimes I look at them and I wonder what that guy's gonna do with his life, or I wonder where she's gonna go, or what they're gonna do, because I've had so many of my friends just pick up and leave one day. Like, they'll be serving out here, we'll be hanging out, and the next day they'll feel like they have a call from God and they need to go somewhere else in the world, to some insane place. And I mean, for example, some of my friends, this guy right here, Tim Shantier, he was actually a kid that was in our high school ministry, our high school group, and he couldn't make up his mind about anything. He was just one of those kids. In fact, I remember one of my pastors was so frustrated with him. He just said, I'm just done with Tim. I don't want to talk to him. He can't make up his mind. He'll say he's going one direction, and I'll encourage him, then he'll go another direction. But then one day he's like, I think God wants me to go out to the jungles of Papua New Guinea and share Jesus with some tribe and learn their language and on and on. And everyone's like, yeah, whatever, Tim. What are you gonna be next week, an astronaut? But then he does it. Then he takes like the next 4 years of his life and he trains up and becomes this missionary. He gets married, they have 2 kids out in the jungle, and he's out there right now sharing about Jesus Christ in some language that he's learned, and he's teaching through the New Testament with these guys. And it's a lot like this other guy, Mike and his family, the Cratches, man, he's got 3 boys, and he wasn't even a believer when he came to the church. He falls in love with Jesus Christ. He hears some missionary talk about going out and caring for people who've never heard the gospel, and suddenly he's out in the jungle too, and with his 3 boys, his wife's helping out with medicine and helping as a nurse, and amazing thing. And that was about 7 years ago that started. This guy right here, Kevin Oates. Kevin, I've known this guy for years. In fact, we used to go surfing every single week. Every Thursday morning, 6 a.m., we'd go out surfing and just laugh. I mean, just the funnest guy to surf with, and an amazing surfer. But he was also one of those brainiac guys, like just those genius types, where he was in seminary and he was like Greek student of the year type of thing. And he feels called to go to Lima, Peru. And so the guy learns Spanish and moves down to Lima, Peru, and teaches in a seminary. He teaches Greek and Hebrew in Spanish. And his wife, meanwhile, is leading this medical clinic in this really poor area, and and they've got a few kids now, and now suddenly they're feeling like, what, maybe our work's done here, maybe we need to go to Colombia, and they're thinking about going out. It's just so weird to me, because here's all these people that were in my house, that were hanging out, they're just friends of mine, and suddenly they're gone and they're doing the work of God somewhere else. It's not just the people from the church that go overseas that are doing crazy things for the Lord. What I love about the church is there are people that are right here in the city, and they're doing amazing things. For example, Thomas, who's here, he was a chef partner in this amazing steakhouse. I loved going there because he would just set me up with any steak I wanted, lobster, tempura, the whole deal. Anyways, he really felt called, like God was wanting him to do more ministry, and so he leaves this really lucrative business and he starts cooking at the rescue mission. So he goes from this beautiful steakhouse to cooking for the homeless, and not just cooking for the homeless, but he also teaches the homeless how to cook. He holds classes there so they can actually get jobs as cooks in other places. And then there's Jim, another guy that's here. He actually used to be the worship pastor. I mean, actually, he is still the worship pastor at Cornerstone Church, but he used to be a full-time employee at the church. And then he and this other guy, Ben, who was running the web design at the church, they decide to start their own business because they think to themselves, you know what, we could actually volunteer at the church, save the church a bunch of money. And so they start this business called The Regime, where they design websites and all these other things, and they're actually doing really well, but it enabled them to volunteer at the church. And I know that may not sound like a big sacrifice, but the truth is they saved the church tens of thousands of dollars. And I could just give you all these examples of people in the church that are just doing crazy things right here in our own city. We have college students that have taken homeless people into their apartments. We have this one kid who said, you know, I'm just not even gonna live in an apartment. I'll live in my car so I can give more to the poor. I had another guy, single guy, who just gave me the keys to his house and said, you know what, I'm more concerned about my treasures in heaven. So here, have the house, sell it, give it to the poor. And I love this because it's going on right here in the city. And it's not just people that are going out of town to do insane things for the Lord. And sometimes it's weird because I'm supposed to be their pastor, yet a lot of times they're more examples to me.
So Steve, you know what one of my favorite things about this video is that when Francis Chan starts talking about all of these people that he's known in his life that have, like, friends that have come and gone, you know, to go do ministry and stuff. And one of the things that it reminds me of is two of the people that I admire the most as Christians is your niece and her husband, Megan and Justin. Because when they got married, their act of marriage, first off, was service to each other. You know, and then to spend the first year of their marriage as missionaries in Oregon, you know, was huge. I mean, they went to one of the worst places in America to be missionaries for a year as the beginning of their marriage. And to me, that's just like, man, I wish I just could be a little bit more like them.
Well, you know, one of the things that I got from this video was that it was something that I think that more of us should do, and more of us should understand that we don't really have to leave where you're at to do these missionary
That's true.
type things.
I loved doing Mission Eatonville. What was that, like 10 years ago?
Well,
that was huge. That was so much fun.
I mean,
taking the teens and cleaning up our town.
That's one of the things that is really important to do in your hometown, is to do those kinds of things. It seems like to me that a lot of people think about this missionary
that
as
God
being
is calling you to do these huge things.
Go over there and do it, or go over there and do it.
But these
really,
huge things are in our neighborhoods. These huge things are in our church. They're in our town. They're in our youth groups. That's where these huge things start.
That's right. And the more you serve in your hometown,
exactly,
the better off your hometown is. Your village, you go to missionaries are known for going to a village somewhere else. And I'm not saying that don't do that, but I'm saying that our village is right here in Eatonville. Yeah. And so we need to think about serving here, serving at your church.
Very good.
Going on a mission trip to the plaza or to the Shell station.
How about just the parks, the roadside?
Well, that's what I think is the most. I mean, we have a lot of people that go a lot of different places,
and I love them for it. I love those that go out of their area to serve God, to spread the word. I mean, that is a huge, important part. Don't ever take us wrong. That is huge, and they give up so much.
But spreading the word here at home is just as important as well.
Yes.
I think.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
So we have some updates. We have some news. First off, Celebrate Recovery is finally going to start teaching the lessons. You can go to celebraterecovery.com, I think it is, or .org, I'm not sure. Go to the Celebrate Recovery website, and they'll have the videos of the lessons. We're going to do one every week, starting last night, and then again every Saturday. They're going to do all 25 lessons, so we'll have an opportunity to watch those and to get that education that's needed. We have the women's coffee hour, the men's coffee hour Tuesday morning, and then Tuesday night we have the Zoom meeting at 7 o'clock for the men's small group and the women's small group.
That's right.
And church on Sunday, 10 a.m. and 8 p.m. Be there, be square.
All right, we'll see you guys later.
Love y'all.
Bye.
Bye.